Hey guys, it's Jimmy Bremner and Dexter coming at you from the Urban Trail, CTOA. And I'm going to talk about a few things today. First of all, my Russell's knife, we're doing some field trials with it. So far, it's fantastic. Um, Thank you. Uh, Mosquitoes are bad today. I've got a lot of bug dope on. And, like, Jimmy, why do you do urban trail? Well, because it's fun. I was really fortunate to learn a lot of things over my, time. And it's nice to share that. If you've been following the news, there's actually three incidents that are going on currently that has a lot to do with self-rescue. Okay, and having some skills in the bush. So right now, I mean, this one doesn't apply to the bush, but apparently there's a private company that takes people on a submarine ride down to see the Titanic wreck, and it's missing, and it's not looking good. Okay, now in that situation, nothing you can do. Yesterday, early morning, this morning, Canadian Forces Chinook went down up around Petawawa, around the Ottawa River. They've recovered two individuals that are in good shape, and they're still searching for two. The most remarkable one in Colombia, an aircraft went down, and the search and rescue has been going on for some time, and they managed to find four children with a canine that survived. It's like it's over 20 days in the bush. So I started thinking, like, how is that even possible? And then I started thinking about, they're probably indigenous people. And guess what? They were. So the oldest child was 12 years old, down to an infant. And this child is remarkable based on what they know about the surroundings, the jungle, and plants that you can eat, plants to stay away from, where to find fresh water. This child was able to help the other three survive that time in the bush, and of course a canine is responsible for locating them. So, it's like the show we used to watch, a 3-hour tour. You don't know, what's going to happen next, right? So it's good to have some skills and practice those. It's better to work with nature instead of fighting it constantly. If you don't have a lot of skill in the bush and you find yourself lost, watch animals. Animals know what to eat and they know where to get water. All right, so think about those things, and this is why I do it. And like I said, for the most part, it's fun. So today, we're going to talk about map and compass. This will be a 4-part series, maybe 5. It's actually not that hard, but there's some things you have to know. Okay, so people will talk about this. They call them ranger beads, pace beads. There's a number of different names for them, and you can make them yourself by stripping out some paracord, just going to like the hobby shop and buying some of these beads. And then the bottom, you place 10 of them, and the top you can put 5. I only have 2 on this particular set. And so what's that for? It's for covering a known distance. Okay, so Canada, we do things in kilometers, right? So what you need to do, the first thing you need to do is find a soccer pitch, a football field, and from goalpost to goalpost, it's 100 meters. and you want to walk that at like your regular pace. And every time your left foot hits the ground, you want to count that off, right? So, we'll say I get to, I cover 100 meters with, I'll say 67 paces. Okay, so now I know when I'm out and I start to cover ground, every 67 paces on my left foot, I've covered 100 meters. And I pull down a bead. Okay? Go another 100 meters, pull down a bead. By the time I get to 10, I've covered a kilometer, and then I pull down one of the top ones indicating such, and then I move them all back up and I start over again. So, maybe there's not a soccer pitch. You can use a rangefinder, to give you 100 meters and walk that. In the city, there's certain known distances, okay, urban trail, hydropole to hydropole, 50 meters. Parking spot inside in a shopping mall, it's usually 10 wide, 20 deep, right? Sea-can, 9 feet high. So there's things that you can put in the back of your head to help you estimate distance. Again, usually about 100 meters, you're losing, you can see the body, the shape of a person, but the face is unrecognizable. You go to 200 meters, you can see movement, right? And then beyond 300, it starts looking a little bit like a dot. Again, depending on your eyesight, mine is not so good as I've told you in the past. But the first thing, as I said, that you need to do is understand your pace and how much ground you cover at your particular pace. If you're a taller person, you have longer legs, you're going to cover more ground with less steps. And that said, once you find it on your flat terrain, you should try it going uphill and downhill and over uneven terrain, and keep that in your head, because again, I don't get to pick the challenge ahead of me, right? Mother Nature is going to do that for me. So that's the first part. We're going to get into discussing what type of compass is probably best for you. Then we'll get into mapping, and then we'll get into compass on the map and how to help you navigate. Again, there's simple things. Sun rises in the east, sets in the west, and at high noon, it's hard to determine east and west, but you wait, and the sun will move towards the west, and if you follow it, you're going west. So again, there's certain things that moss, goes on the north side. Yeah, it does. So there's certain things that are indicators to help you navigate. Okay. So like I said, this is probably a 4-parter, maybe 5. I'm going to finish with this. Some of you know me, some of you don't. I wrote a book called Crack in the Armor, and it's about my trauma experience and PTSD. And the book is quite old at this point. It's probably 13, 14 years old. And as a result of that, it actually got a lot more exposure than I could have even imagined, okay? And as a result of that, people email me and they text me and they phone me and they ask me, can we sit down for a coffee? And you know what, I'm happy to do that. But just the geography, in Canada and Ontario where I am, trying to travel from one place to another, to sit down and have a face-to-face coffee with you, it's exhausting, okay? And I'm being perfectly honest. I do want to continue to be that sounding board for you and help you as best I can. There's something called compassion fatigue, and I have to watch myself, okay, on how much, I can expose myself and try and assist as best I can. So, where am I going? I have an office in Mississauga. CTOA has an office in Mississauga. And I'm willing to open up Thursdays. If you want to travel down to the office, you can do that. I'm happy to sit with you. It's a private setting. Nobody hears anything. Uh, if you want to do a Zoom or a Teams meeting, I'm happy to do that. And again, I'm doing my best to reach out and talk to all of you and do what I can. But as I said, it can be, it wears on you. So, I am what I am. I'm being perfectly honest. If you give me an email at jimb@ctoa.ca, that's jimb@ctoa.ca, we'll set up a team or a Zoom. If you want to come into the office out in Mississauga, we're right beside Pearson Airport, and I'm more than happy to sit down with you and help you out. So again, please understand me. I'm one person, right? And it's hard to be everywhere at the same time. So let's go back to having some fun with our bushcraft, right? Get out, enjoy the summer. Got a new hat. Got a new hat because it's quite sunny today, and so I got a lighter hat. And so that's it. It's me and the boy, Dexter. Jimmy Bremner, CTOA. I'm out.